Hi, my name is Raynell Shirley, and I'm with Be a Light Mission Service Center. I have a praise report that I wanted to share from this weekend's activities. We had our first homeless service this weekend, so we did a cookout in Holiday, Florida, and we served our brothers and sisters and gave them not just physical food but also spiritual food. And it made me think of one of the folks that I've come to know in the course of our work. Her name is Susan. So Susan was first introduced to me by my partner in crime, Tom. He had actually been the first one scouting out the different areas for this ministry. And when first coming to me about this work, he introduced me to Susan, and Susan is kind of the mama bear of some of the younger adults that are occupying some of the areas there. And my first interaction with Susan, I could definitely see her heart. She was very protective of those around her and wanting them to be okay, and even protective of us. And she mentioned that she went around the community and let folks know that we were coming to help them, and she was just so excited and just really full of life and love, and like I said, just a really big heart. Well, the next time that I saw her, unfortunately she was in a bit of a decline. She was under the influence a bit, and not quite as clear in speech. The third time that I saw her was even more of a decline. And quite frankly, I was very concerned about her health, about her safety, about whether or not she was going to transcend even further into addiction. However, the work of prayer, as long as there is breath, in our bodies, there is a chance at being able to make a turnaround. And so the next time that I saw Susan, I noticed that she had a little bit more pep in her step, a little more color to her face. Her hair grown back a little bit, though she was, quite gray. So we're still able to see a lot more of her age than when I first saw her. And she was a bit excited. She said, I'm feeling good, and she seemed to be in much better spirits. And when I saw her next, she said that actually I'm not on the street anymore. And I said, wait a second, what do you mean you're not on the street anymore? And she said, I found a place to stay. And I was like, well, that's great. And so she said, well, it's not a home. She said, but I'm not sleeping on the street. At night, I don't have to worry about the police coming in and shooing me away, or being arrested or being hurt. She said, I found a place where they allow us to rent some space on the lawn, and I have access to some of the things on the property, and I can do that for like $10 a week as opposed to 20 or more bucks a week. And she was so happy about that, and I noticed something later as I was I was like, hey, why don't you come, because we were serving food. So I said, why don't you come on by and, have a hamburger or a hot dog with us, and tell me about your, how you're doing. And she was hesitant to go back around the same circle. And it kind of hit me of, the way that we think of space, the way that we think of a home. And I always thought of a home as just kind of, it's the building. You either have one or you don't, right? But the concept of that is so very different when you're on the street. It's progress just having a place where you don't have to worry about being accosted, where you can just sleep through the night, just a single place where you're not having to move about, even if it's under the stars. It's a single place that you can say, I have a place to stay. And that was just so humbling, because we don't think that way. We automatically think of, this building. It makes me think of another person that I met the weekend prior, who was a homeless veteran. And he was waiting for a stimulus check to come in because he said, I'm going to take my stimulus check and I'm going to buy a car. And, we kind of look at each other, what do you mean you're going to buy a car? And he said, it might not be much, but if I buy a car, I have a place to stay. And I don't have to sleep on the bench anymore. I don't have to worry about the police. I don't have to worry about getting shooed away. And if I actually need to get someplace, I can go somewhere. And that just, again, it's that a place to stay. The definition of safety, of peace, of security is so different. Mine, I always thought of as, again, a building. But for them, it's progress just in a little bit more security. In doing this kind of work, it's not about whether or not you just hand out a meal or hand out some socks or what have you. It's connection. It's relationship. You use the meals to learn how to help, to give an ear to talk to, or to, basically ear to listen, a shoulder to cry on, someone to pray for you or pray with you. It's connection. It's letting them know that someone still cares, that as long as they have breath, there's a chance for progress, even if it means that progress is just simply from a bench to a car, or from the street to someone's lawn. Thank you for listening to that. Because after I thought about that, I was really happy for Susan. Because it's a step. And with each step, she has a little bit more hope. Thank you all, and God bless.